Good day. Welcome to Yoga with Bliss. Today we're going to do yoga fusion. It will be body weight training and body weight stretching. But first, I want to talk a moment about posture. I've got Harry here, my really fairly accurate skeleton, because I wanted to call your attention to this, the xiphoid process. It's right here in your sternum area. When I talk about lift your sternum, I just want you to think about this bone exists in you and you lift that up. You can see that when you lift your sternum, pulls up your whole rib cage, you have an opportunity to roll your shoulders back. But I want to add one thing. Let's think about for those of us who might have spinal stenosis or some reason that your back is tender if you arch it. When you lift your sternum, you want to make sure you level your pelvis out. I'm going to put Harry down and show you that on my own self. Oh, wait, I have to move both Harry and the chair that I'm sitting on so the people in the studio can see. So here's what I'm saying. Here is your sternum. Think of that little pointy arrow-shaped bone, your xiphoid process. I'll always say sternum, but I really like that visual of the bone. Take a moment, find your feet grounded, your seat, which is your level pelvic girdle, no arch back, a level pelvic girdle. And now, instead of rounded, lift your sternum. When you have a pelvic leveling and a lifted sternum, you have put your spine in the excellent position for movement and function. Now, why do I say this? Because it's going to be important. Let's take a moment, and I will try to center myself on the blue band. Take a moment and just stand with a little width. Pelvic tilt, sternum lift. Let's add one more thing. Open your chest and relax your arms down. Breathe here with me. I have to take off my glasses. As you're standing here in a wide-legged mountain, your form looks beautiful. Take a moment and double check. Did you beautiful? That's even a more lifted chest. Now, you don't have to do that maximum all the time, but when you can, try it. Let's just do shoulder rolls right here. Breathing. So our warm-up today is going to be some body weight movements. But I do want to do a little rhythmic limbering. I'm now relaxing my hands and doing shoulder rolls. Notice your feet. Everybody in here is doing it. Your feet are rolling onto the mat or the floor. Notice your hips. They're up and around, doing a hip circle, shoulder circle, foot rolls down on the mat. Let's just do 4. Here's 3. Here's 2. Beautiful. I want to take a moment and do a little body weight training starting from the bottom up. Think of your feet being right under your hips. I've got my toes spread if they will. I imagine they're spread if they don't. One foot will, one foot I need imagination. You have your pelvic tilt, sternum lift, shoulders low. Now I'm going to press up onto my toes, come down. Press up onto my toes. Beautiful. I see everybody's knees are staying straight but not locked. Press up. Oh, yes, you guys go up much higher than I do. Come on, onto your toes. If you're like me for some reason, you don't go up high, that's okay. Press and you're still getting the work. 2 less times did you notice? Take a moment and see how your feet were parallel, looking good. Let's turn them out just a touch. Now, this is the one you want to make double sure. Don't pop your knees out. You leave your knees long and unlocked, but mostly straight. We're going to push up, pushing on the ball of your foot. Push up, and there you go. Yes, this is the one where the muscle's totally gone, but I push up anyway and work all the parts of my body. Push up, and there we are. Two more. Oh, yes. Can't you feel the inside of your calf? Now let's just take your feet. What feels like a little pigeon toed. It's different for everybody. Does it feel pigeon toed to you? I have to take a minute and look. It feels very pigeon toed. When I looked, it's practically straight. You go by how you feel. But now, before we do this, pelvic tilt, sternum lift, shoulders low. Feel the weight on your baby toe knuckle. Push up on your toes. Push up. Can you feel it's the outside? Push the outside of your calves. We have begun the fusion body weight training portion of our program. It's part of our warm up, but it's our fabulous body weight training. So that was the calves. Let's work the thighs. Did you notice I've got a chair here? When you do this on YouTube, make sure you have a chair that you can sit in. And here's the deal. You wanted it to be a chair that you can get up and down out of. Here's what the movement is. I'm sitting. Take a moment. Notice your pelvic tilt, your sternum lift. I'm going to give you a side view. Wait, I forgot to turn a light on. Let me get better light. You'll be able to see my pelvic tilt sternum lift better with that big light on. All right, so here we are. Here I am sitting like normal. You're waiting in the doctor's office. You're sitting there, whatever. Pelvic tilt, sternum lift. What did that do to my back? Beautiful. It looks wonderful here in the studio. So here's what this exercise will be. Your feet are square on the ground. You're not going to use your hands unless you need to. I'll show you how if you do. You're going to try without your hands. You lean forward, you push up, and then I open my hands. I'll show you this view. I'm opening so that I get to open my chest area and contract the muscles in my back. So here, I'll join you. This is called the sit to stand. When you do the sit to stand all the time, every day of your life, you should do sit to stand. If ever you notice all of a sudden you can't do it, that's a symptom and you should check it out. But if you maintain it as the decades pass, then you will be one of the people who is more mobile. So here I am. Check your pelvic tilt, sternum lift, looks fabulous. Lean and lift up and lean and sit down. By the way, double check your chair's there before you sit. I kind of let the back of my legs feel the chair. Lean and sit up, lean and open out. Beautiful. Lean and sit up, lean and open out. Now let's take a moment. Everyone is different. Some people barely need to lean at all. Some people, and it's funny, I'm going to do my arms differently because it helps me not lean. Some people just push up. Oh, I still had to lean. The goal is not to lean more or less. The goal is to lean as much as you need to, but not a whole bunch more. And I think we're going to do 8 of these. And here we are. We'll come on up and come on down. Oh, I wanted to open out my chest. Here we are. Let's open out both times and open out. Oh, I like that. And here we are. Lift up and sit down. The sit to stand is not only a wonderful body weight exercise, it's a wonderful way to notice how are you feeling? What are you able to do? Did anything change about your body? I didn't lose count. I think we've got 2 more. And one of the folks in class today asked, what does this work? Well, you tell me. Let's do a few shoulder rolls right here. Didn't it work your thighs and your butt? And that beautiful tall posture worked your back. So we've done calves, thighs, glutes. Now I want to work your back more specifically. Come on and stand. Here we will use a yoga flow. that really strengthens the muscles in the low back. It's a customized sun salutation A. We're just going to do the first part of it with the forward folds. So when you do a forward fold today, do you need to be way up high? There's got a little tightness in your hamstring, then have a chair ready for your forward fold. You know why I have these steps here? By the way, these are steps for a large dog to get up to the bed. And I use them so that I can choose what support do I need? How low can I go? You might just stand in front of your stairs at home if you're on YouTube. Here is your mountain. Feel your feet, weight even Steven. Pelvic tilt, sternum lift, shoulder roll. Feel your hands land in your center. Beautiful. Here in the studio, everybody looks fabulous. They're not forward, they're not back here, they're right here with your side seam. There's your mountain. Breathe and feel your side seam. Think about beautiful. The little extra sternum lift might be necessary if you've been in a habit of a little sternum sink, a little extra sternum lift. So here we are with a beautiful flat back. I'm going to do a swan dive and not go real low. So first unlock your knees and extend your arms out and just swan dive, flat back. Don't tip your chest. Beautiful, you're right, and come on up. In the studio, at first I saw people look down and then they looked up and their back flapped right out. Try that at home. Flat back, look forward, lean down where it's right for you. Don't go any farther than you should. Right here. And come on up. This is a back exercise right here. I'm going to go much lower because it's available for me. Do not imitate me. Your deck, flat back. Keep that flat back. Keep that flat back. Flat, flat back. Come on up. All right. And one last. Flat back. Flat back. We're not going to come up now. We're going to round ourselves down. Now, this is our first forward fold of the day. Be gentle on your poor little hamstrings. Even I can palm the floor, but right here, I like to be up higher. You might be up on a block, on an ottoman, on a bench. What does your body want? Notice now I have begun to rock side to side. We're doing a real gentle forward fold because we did not do a substantial rhythmic limbering warm-up. Instead, we're adding little warm-ups like this all throughout our body weight training fusion. So one leg straightens and then that leg bends as we switch. When your body, let's stop in the middle and see, does your body feel real comfortable? Could you try down just a little lower and see if that's okay? Now, I'm actually doing some wrist rehab right now. I'm not good with full body weight on my wrist, just because some little tendonitis and things. But I have bent wrists as much as feels comfortable without body weight. But don't forget to relax your neck. Breathing, very nice. Now, when we do sun salutation A, there is that. Some yoga instructors call it halfway up. I call it flat back arise. Let's pull into your flat back, and however high you came is the right amount, whether it was halfway up or not. Melt yourself down and come down as low as you choose and relax your neck. Breathe and be here for a moment. Here's our flat back. Arise to whatever height is good for you and come on down. Breathing. Take a moment and look at me if you're in the studio. So I just want you to know that you're doing this. You're coming up, but do you see that roundedness? Here's what I'm wanting. Flat. And I'm wanting it for your back muscles to develop. So here's rounded, here's flat. Here's your chest shining down. Here's your chest shining up. Everybody relax down. We're going to do one last set. flat back, chest shines forward. Beautiful improvement. And one last. Well, how about a little down dog? Should you come up to an ottoman, to a kitchen counter, I try lower. And if my shoulders complain, then I move it up. And if my shoulders complain, then I move it up. I recommend you do the same thing. Or maybe you start at the top, and if it's excellently easy and you have more ability, you move it down. Your choice. The key is move it around and check it out. Choose the down dog of your body's foot on this day today. Breathing. Now talk about body weight training. Very nice. I'm going, your arms are holding your weight, your legs are holding your weight. I'll do a three-legged dog. Let one leg come to the center and take more weight, and the other leg lifts wherever it will. Your body, your way. Try to center down dog, breathe into it. Now, if your arms get fatigued partway through, come up a little higher. Change anytime you want. Here, I'm going to try the three-legged dog on the other side. On this side, my calf muscle is real tight. Did you notice how I shortened up the distance between my arms and legs? That was just the right thing for me. And here's my three-legged dog. Body weight strength in the arms and the leg, and flexibility and balance and fabulous. Come on down. Any way you want. Walk yourself, waddle yourself, hop, skip, and a jump yourself back to your forward fold. Relax that neck. We're going to do 3 more flat back rise. Remember, you don't come up at all in the beginning. You just flatten out and then come up a touch. Melt down. Flatten out. Beautiful. And melt down. Here's your last. Flatten out. And come on down. Breathing, being. Back to your forward fold. Any way you want. Relax the neck. Mellow and well. Now I'm going to rise. This time I want to take my arms out. Flatten my back. See that airplane flat back? Lift with your strength to your flat back. And let's have a salute. Whatever your shoulders let you do, your salute, your way. Beautiful. We're working our way up your body. We did your back. Let's do some body weight training for your glutes. But we're also going to add some balance work. Yeah, maybe I will face forward. You guys can face forward. We need the full length of the mat for this. We stand in the mountain and be human. For a moment, humans being, not doing, just feeling. Now let's add the doing to the mountain. Press your feet away. Did you feel it engage your pelvic floor, your glutes? Put your feet away in a mountain is a wonderful exercise. But I'm going to tell you what happened in this room for all of us. Everyone became more stable. I felt it, and then I looked for you guys. And it's just steady with that push away. Isn't that cool? Sternum lift. Very nice. Now this next move, relaxing the arms, is leftover from a class we used to do decades ago. Face forward. I'm showing the side view. Take a moment and do your pelvic tilt. This will protect everybody's back. We want no back arches here. We just want a little touch back, touch back, touch back. Now listen to your body. As you do this touch back, if you need a little more distance between your feet, like on railroad tracks, it's easier to balance. If you want more balance challenge, you touch back with less width between your feet. and touch back. Double check. So I'm sneaking a peek at everybody's t-shirts. Your t-shirts look fabulous. Doesn't look to me like you're doing any big arches. Yes, let's take one arm at a time now and lift and lift. Keep that same stable core. You're not bent forward. You're not arched back. Stable core and lift and lift. There's your gluteus maximus working right there. Very nice. Here's two more. Let's move to the thighs, the great big muscles of the thighs. My feet are as wide. This is a 2-foot wide mat as my mat, about 2 feet apart, a little wider than your shoulders. Pelvic tilt, sternum lift. Let's have a little squat. Now feel into your body. I needed to go a little wider for my comfort. Everybody's different. It's a little squat, beautiful pelvic tilt, sternum lift, little bend in the legs. Very nice. We're going to press down, slowly up, down. Oh yes, let's add goddess arms and a star and a goddess. Go slower. It's a slow goddess and a slow star. Can't you feel your thighs are working? There you go. Now, the thigh muscles, the quadriceps, the three on the surface, here we are. We're working now. Yes, you go. That fourth one is a little hidden underneath, and it helps with hip flexion. Here's two last, and we're going to work that hidden underneath quadricep. Come up anytime you want, any way you want. And breathing, and we're going to work balance at the same time. So, in yoga, there's the move called the pelican. Well, our pelican, I tend to want to call this the nervous pelican. I'll show you why. In the pelican, you've got your pelican wings. By the way, shoulder roll, shoulders comfortable, shoulder blades pulled down, pour the weight onto one leg, let the other leg touch. This might be your balance route and you leave it here. But this pelican's a little nervous, so they lift that leg out and they lift that leg out. But what if you can hold that leg up? What if you can just hold it right there in the air, which I cannot do. It is not available to me. Hold your leg up if you will. Your hip flexor is working. God bless. And set it down. And I'm doing a little step just to release tension that might have built during the balancing, during the hip flexion. Stand tall and you are mounted. Check your pelvic tilt. Did you ever think anybody would be glad for spinal stenosis? It educates me how often we need to level the pelvis, unlock the knees. That protects the back. Let's get our pelican wings. Got those shoulder blades down your back and low. Yes. Shift the weight onto the one pelican leg. And here you are. I'm just tipping over. Here you are with your balance root. Now, if your balance root is real close to the other leg, that's more intense. You can clearly see I need my balance root to be on the railroad tracks parallel, and I'm able to hold my pelican more. Once you're stable with your pelican, breathe, find a drishti point, and see if you can pick up your pelican leg. And now mine won't stay up, but I'm actually working on pick it up as high as I can, come down. Pick it up, work the hip flexor down. Pick on up and take it down. Oh, you're probably going much different pace than I. You might be holding it in the air the whole time. We are all different. Appreciate whatever is available to you. And here's our last. Very nice, relaxed shoulder roll. That was that hip flexor, that deep, beautiful hip flexor. Very nice. I'm working my way up the body with different muscle groups working, lifting your body weight. let's think of these muscles on the side of the thigh. We will work balance at the same time as we work the muscles on the side of the thigh and side of the core, mountain. But I've given pelican arms for balance. Now I'm going to pour the weight onto one leg, and this leg went a little pigeon-toed and lifts out just a little and back, out just a little and back. There you go, and back. Now, I'm going to try to go slower and have better balance. When I go out, I have to touch. Maybe not. Yep. So if I come closer, I can come back faster. What do you need? Listen to your body. Breathing. There we go. And then out. And just one more. And come on out. That was your tensor fasciolate. Walk it out. Walk it out. Let's feel body weight training for the tensor fasciolate and muscles up the side of your core. Balance arms. Mountain legs, pelvic tilt unlocked. Pour the weight onto this pelican leg. And this leg is a little pigeon-toed. That little pigeon-toed really lines up and isolates that. Lift out as slow as you can. You may lift and not touch the ground. Everybody else in here is lifting. I will intend to lift without touching, but everybody will do what's available to them. My tensor fasciolate is still firing, even though I can't quite lift. You lift if you can, you touch if you need, keep that foot a little pigeon-toed. That isolates that muscle. And there's your last one. Oh, step it out, step it out. Breathing. That was the outside of the thigh. There's a muscle called the adductor. Our body weight training, the adductor is the inner thigh. Our body weight training is going to work the adductor and work the chest and the balance all at the same time. You cross this foot over. You might cross it a bunch. You may just squeeze till your inner thigh squeeze and it barely crosses. So feel into it a few times for you, what feels right. Then become into your mountain and we'll cross. Come back. Oh, I'm going so slow. Come back. When we do this quicker during our rhythmic limbering, this it's not as much balance work, but when we do this very slowly, right here, I'm going to add my shoulder work. Here we are, I've got palms down, shoulder work. So I'm really thinking of the squeeze and the lift. The squeeze, your form and your posture are so excellent. Right here, and the lift, and there you go. Beautiful shoulder roll. So nice. So I'm going to use a customized or modified yoga pose. Only this modification makes it harder, but you're going to love it. It's a standing cat-cow. So you decide. If you are super duper flexible, you may do a standing cat-cow with your hands way down low. I don't think most people are going to be there. But I just want you to know that's the possibility. Many people will do the standing cat-cow up on an ottoman. And it gives you, notice how my black back is really flat across. That might feel fine. I am going to, just from looking at the folks in here, I'm going to suggest each of you guys go on the gray and the blue ottomans. And here's why. I want us to be able to round up in a cat and let your udders sink down and your chest open in the cow. Here, come on up into your cat. Oh, your spines look beautiful. And down into your udders sink down. Your back comes on up. You're at now. Let's add some breathing. Exhale into your cat. Inhale into your cow. Exhale into your cat. Inhale into your cow. And then stabilize yourself right where you are. Don't go any lower than was comfortable for your cat cow, because we're going to add another component to it. You put your one leg in the center, touch the other toe back. You know how when we are in a table, we do the tiger's tail? This is a standing tiger's tail. Feel yourself balanced on that weight-bearing leg and the two arms. And then see, does your tiger's tail want to lift up a little? Does your tiger's tail want to lift up all the way? Your body, your way. Everyone's form looks fabulous. Yes, I like, Kath, the way you just turned your hands out, I think is nice on that ottoman. Breathing, there's your tiger's tail. Okay, we're going to get tricky. You can leave both hands on the ground and enjoy your balance, or you can think about one arm coming out. Will that one arm lift up? Oh my goodness, let me check your fabulous balance. You look wonderful. I got Billy Crystal in the class today. Marvelous, marvelous. Lift that tiger's tail. Lift that tiger's paw. Breathe and be neutral neck and bring yourself down to your table. And it went from a tiger to a little cat cow. Exhale on the cat. Inhale on the cow. I don't know about you, but my body is loving the strength training with all of this balance work. All righty, find your table up on your ottoman, probably. What leg did you stand on last time? Put the other one centered and be prepared to stand on that leg, the nice table position. The toe touches back. Then you see how it feels to flex that foot. Should you lift just a little? Do you want to lift more? What does your body say will be good for you? Oh, I have to take a moment and be gleeful. This is my knee that got replaced. When I did this before, my bones used to crunch and hurt. It feels fabulous today. My new knee functions so well. How about that tiger's paw? Neutral neck. I keep wanting to look up and my tiger's neck gets tense. Neutral neck, tiger's paw, tiger's tail, balancing, lifting, appreciating, intent further. And whenever your body says it's the right time, come back to your cat. Oh, here's your standing cat. Standing cat. Now, I want to tell you a moment about this standing cat cow. If you ever have tendinitises in your wrist or problems with your shoulder that you can't do a regular table for a long time, enjoy all the work of the table. Just come on up to this position. I'm still putting weight on my hand. I'm still training my shoulder, but I haven't done more than that is available to me. Come on up into your table, but you guys might have more available to you. I'm stepping around just to get my feet ready for my mountain. Breathing. I'm thinking in my mind, what will I want for my down dog and my plank? Should you be up to the kitchen counter? Should you be up to a table? Your body, your way. Breathing. Let's come up to your salute. Stretch your shoulders up as much as they will. Pelvic tilt. Nice flat back. Sternum lifted. Push away with those feet for extra support for your back. Forward fold your way to where you choose. We're going to hang here for a moment while I tell you about sarcomeres. When we did all that work for your glutes and your hamstrings, the sarcomeres in your muscles became engaged. That actually will let the sarcomeres become engaged in the stretch. You may find, exhale, that you may go into a comfortable, deeper Forward fold. Your legs might be quite bent, barely bent. Make your legs and knees whatever's right for you. Breathe and be. Now remember that flat back. You're not lifting up from the hip joint. You think of your back at the waistband. It's all rounded right now. Flatten it out right there in the waistband. Shine your chest forward. Come down. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, down. Or breathe any way you want to. Exhale, down. Are you heading to a down dog? The down dog you want your way. Listen to your body. Your heels intent toward the ground, your back intends. Nice flat hips to the ceiling. Breathing. Long arms press down on the knuckle of your pointer finger. And where should you go for your plank? Everyone's different. I need to go on a higher surface, so I had to step away for a moment. Your plank your way. Be with it. Let's talk about the plank and come up. We've got choices. Come tall and just be. To be honest with you, my arms are really hurting, so I have to chill out a minute here. When you go to do the plank, if you're way, way down and you just can't straighten hardly at all, your plank is a big bent thing that tells you, wait a minute, I need to be up on a higher island or a higher step, because my goal is, yes, if I have to have a bend, I will. But what I want for my plank is shoulders over hands and like a board from your heel to the base of your skull. So let each person take a moment, feel into your body, and do the plank that's right for you, intending your plank to be as flat as possible, even if you choose a higher ottoman to be on, or not all the way down to a block or the mat. We're headed right down to your plank your way. High enough so that you can sit that butt and feel your beautiful form. Oh, you're much straighter, much straighter. Breathing. Take your time and push up. And I'm just going to come up to a shoulder roll. But we're going to work our way down to the ground because it's the right time. How do you go sit on a couch? Do you go grab your tablet, take it into your bedroom, and do the rest on the bed? I'm just going to get down gently, and whatever way works for me. You get down or sit up in whatever way works for you. So before class started, we were talking, and I said I was going to include in today's class, let's do a stretch while I tell you about it. I was going to include in today's practice 3 moves that everybody should do every day to maintain your mobility. If you can't do this yet, then train to be able to do your best version of it. And if all of a sudden you can't do something you always could do before, that's a sign to check it out. So here's the 3 moves. We've done some of them. That sit to stand is the move number 1. Everybody should do every day. Some version of a plank, whether it's your kitchen counter, everybody should do every day. Now, I quite frankly like dog and plank, but sit to stand, plank, and we're going to do the next one is some core work. Let's have just a little breathe and stretch. We're letting our arms chill a little after the arm balances. Did you know table was an arm balance? You might not know it until you did the table standing, then you could really feel. Breathe and be. Now listen to your body. Do you need to be up against a couch, Diane, Suzanne? Up against a couch to roll your pelvic girdle forward. If you're in the middle, you roll your pelvic girdle for your nice, tall, flat back. Now for this next one, put your mind on your sternum. Don't round yourself. You may not even move. Just intend as if your flat back self was leaning forward a little bit. What's funny is I can lean forward a lot, but even when I lean forward, that couldn't have been half an inch. I feel so much stretch. So do not think you're not doing anything if you're only leaning forward a little bit. So focus on your flat back. I'm going back to the wall, checking my flat back and intending to lean my sternum a little forward, leading with my sternum. I'm not rounding and sinking my sternum into a cave. No, I'm leading with my sternum for the tiniest little flat back. Each person their own way. Now I'm going to let my hands come forward. Is your body with your ligaments and muscles and limb lengths situation where it'd be nice to have a block here as you lean forward? I still have my flat back. So you might be right up here with your flat back. Everybody's in their flat back their way, walking down with their flat back or wherever your body will allow. It stretches a different set of things with flat. All right, let it run. Breathing. Now, Joanne, if you're doing this on YouTube, you or anyone else who has issues with their spine that cause rounding, you round for a moment and enjoy it, and then you get back to flat back. If you are compensating for an overly rounded back, you do more flat back. If you're stretching out, you might do more rounded back. Your body, your way. Lean forward as much or as little as you want. Melt into it and make it yours. Breathe and be. We're going to work the core 2 or 3 ways. I really can't remember. And the idea is every day you should do at least one of these things. Here we are sitting up. Let's head right into a boat. So I'm just walking around. You can do this on your bed, on your couch, on your mat. All right, I think I will move this chair out of the way. And for the boat, you don't want a big, tall, straight back. That gives you too much tension in your neck. For your boat, you let yourself be rounded. You put your little paddles in the water and you just let yourself round a little. And then you lean back until you feel your abs engage. Beautiful. And I'm seeing nice, neutral, natural necks. Now, before we do our boat, let's just come up a half an inch and back. Can you feel your core engage? I'm looking at your t-shirts and I can see your core engages. So let's go back and feel it engage. That's where you're going to stay. Now, here's the question. Do you want to pick up one leg? Do you want to straighten out that one leg? All righty, I'm going to try the other. Do I want to pick up one leg? Do I want to straighten out the other? Yes, we're working. Come on down our hip flexors. Do you want to pick up both legs? Oh, maybe you want to hold on. Try holding on to the back of your thighs. Gives your hip flexors a break, but lets you still practice balancing. And if you fall, you don't have far to go. See, how does it feel? The big, long leg. Your body, your way. You're working your abdominis erectus and your hip flexors like crazy. And set those down. Let's have our butterfly, soul to soul with your feet rounded. And just so here, if you've had a knee replacement, your knee may not bend. So your butterfly might have big, long, stretching wings. It's all right. You intend for your knee to bend as much as it will. If one knee, my natural knee will bend a bunch more. My replaced knee, not quite as much. Your feet don't have to match. You've just done your bend and you've released again. For Joanne or anyone with a rounded spine, right about now, we've rounded a lot for you. You might want to pull up tall. If you love rounding your spine, you might want to round all this time. So for some people, the butterfly is rounded over. For some people, the butterfly, I'll show you my spine, is tall with a flat back, and you pull up so your neck does not get tense. Was that your butterfly your way? Relax and lay yourself down on your back. The next thing we're going to do, that was the boat, was one way to work your abs and hip flexors. Now we're going to focus on just the core, just the abs. Everybody lays down differently. Please choose to lay down any way that you want. When you get there, let's have a little windshield wipers with the legs. I'm rolling my shoulders back as much to arrange my softness on my back and the back of my t-shirt. When you're comfortable, steady yourself. Breathe and be. When you find where you naturally land, we want to do one more thing. Pelvic tilt. So for me, I picked my tush up a bit, tipped my pelvis, and set my tush down. That's it. That's the beginning position. Now look at my feet. I'm touching my toes to the mat. The reason is I do not want to push with my feet. I just want to support my legs. Now, will your body allow you to put your hands behind your head? Put your mind on that sternum. Remember that xiphoid process, little point in the middle of your chest? Tip that sternum down and back. Tip it and back. I'm not lifting up. I am curling into the sternum curls toward the girdle that shortens, the rectus abdominis. That's fabulous. I'm not pulling on my neck. I'm just lifting my sternum and lift my sternum. And one last time, fabulous. Let's stationary the neck. Does your body allow you to curl your knees? If it does, you're going to lift your dimples. Now, I'm not pulling with my legs. I'm curling my abdominal wall. Curl. Yes, that's it. Curl. Oh, I see options. Some people like the head down. Some people like the head up with the hands down. Each person their way. My body likes at least one hand to support my head. Did you curl up? And curl up. One last time, so we had the boat. We had the abdominal curl set down. We had the reverse abdominal curl. Can you believe we have one more set of core work before our luscious final stretch? And the final set of core work, set your upper body down. Relax your arms any way they want to relax. Curl your knees if they were curled. Take one leg as tall as it will go and lower it. Keep your pelvic tilt and come in. Everybody's different. Some people will lower right here and that's enough. Other people will lower pelvic tilt, stays engaged. If you go lower as I am really focused on my pelvic tilt. That protects my L4, L5 areas where I've had ruptured discs. And I really want to protect those areas. Here we are, such body weight training for body stability. You can choose any of these core movements when you do your 3 daily things. The one is sit to stand. The other is any version of planks. And the third is any version of core work. Well, we do about one more of whatever was your choice. And we're going to wrap it up. And you know what we're going to wrap it up with? Windshield wipers. But I have to thank Cookie for this. So we were doing windshield wipers in a yoga class that she was teaching. And she said, let your wipers fall all the way to one side. And notice your quadriceps on the top leg. Now, for normal people, it probably is getting a gentle little stretch. As my muscles atrophy, they're shrinking up and becoming very tight. So for me, this is a super intense stretch, but my docs say it's good for me. So I'm grooving on this quadricep stretch at the far end of the windshield wiper. If you have any special area that's extra tight, you just turn on off YouTube for a moment and just stretch it longer. But we're going to head back to windshield wipers for a bit, feeling the circulation, the relaxation. I'm waiting till my two thighs feel about even Steven after the big fabulous stretch here. Now my windshield wipers are just going to tip far to this side. By the way, look right here at my foot on this top leg. If I pull this foot a little higher, dropping my knee, I get a little more stretch. If you've got a knee replacement, this is my natural knee that bends this much. On the other side, it didn't bend this much, but I intended for it to bend as much as it would. Sink the knee, stretch the thigh. You'll get more stretch. Some people can reach their foot and pull it up. Breathing, stretching your body your way. Lovely quadricep, chest. How about we hit back to our windshield wipers? All right. Do you have a yoga strap, or I have my ribbons in the studio? I went and got some grosgrain ribbon for us because I like the way it works. But a yoga strap is fabulous too. This next movement is very familiar to something we've done for a long time, but it's also very different. We're going to do a nerve glide. As you might expect when you're doing things with your nerves, I want you to listen up and be careful. If you curl your leg up in any way that you do, you put your yoga strap or your ribbon on the bottom of your leg. Now, go slowly, ever so slowly. Slowly stretch your leg up. Careful, slowly. And now, no point and flex yet. You are stretching your leg up to its maximum stretch, whatever that is. Now, the slowest you ever did in the world, point. And at maximum stretch, with your leg as straight as it will go, I'm going to say calf a touch more straight. So even if you go down a little bit, give your leg less bent. So it's unlocked, but mostly straight, and you do the slowest point and flex. I'm going to go back to where mine goes, but you don't imitate me. You give your body yours. Here's what's happening. When we took our leg to its maximum stretch, the sciatic nerve was extended. And now when you do your point, but especially your flex, the sciatic nerve is literally gliding and stretching. That's why we're going so slow on this. In regular class, when we're not flexed to the max, we do the point and flex sometimes with the rhythm of music, but stretch to the max, we're really perceiving proprioceptive movement. Perceive the movement and make choices. Now, my hands are hurting from holding the ribbon, so I'm going to switch to putting the ribbon in my arm so that my arthritis hands can chill out a little bit. In science, they have a concept called the limiting factor. What is it that's the limiting factor that's getting in the way of your enjoyment of this movement? And for me, it was my hands, and look, I fixed it. How about we chill out, come down slowly, mellowly. And for the other side, we're heading to the nerve glide. So the ribbon goes on the bottom of your heel, probably not your arch. You don't want to pull on that Plantar fascia, the arch of your foot. Don't give it a big ribbon grab. The ribbon is on your heel. Your heel's used to holding your whole body weight. Now, no point in flex yet. Pull up. By the way, I have to go to the side of my belly and then I can come up. Pull up to your maximum stretch. And I'm going to go right to my forearm again. Your maximum stretch. And when you're there, then you slowly add your flex. Oh, I can feel a little extra tension that I don't feel when I'm just lifted, but not at maximum flex of the leg. Nice, slow point and flex. This nerve glide, when done gently and carefully, is excellent for reducing sciatic pain. Isn't that interesting? Breathing carefully. With my marvelous melting muscles, this is the lesson of the decade. Slowly, carefully, but persistently, keep moving. Fabulous. Now take your time and let that leg down. I know some of you are worried, Diane, if you're on YouTube, I know you're worried that I'm going to forget your rotation. I will not. There's your legs. You can leave your feet on the ground and tip them over, or you can hug your knees up. Take your arms to the side, whichever position. I'm going to let my knees go away from the camera and look toward you. Now, I see most of the people in the room, this leg is going much lower than mine is. That's all right. We're all different. You're curled up, or your feet might be down on the ground and you just tipped over. Breathing. Feel how you have, oh, that's funny. I left one leg down low and one leg up, felt good too. What do you want with your legs? This arm out back is stretching your pectoral wall, many things in your shoulder. This leg over and across. If you can't reach it, don't worry about it. Just let it hang long. And the long weight of that lever arm will pull your leg down as low as it goes. Just breathe into this. Some days I like the way it feels to rock into this. Your rotational stretch, your way. If you have extra long hamstrings and you like to take your leg long and grasp your toe, be my guest. If it feels better for your leg to hang down here, be my guest. Somewhere in the middle, each person customizes to their body's needs. Oh, my foot just rested on this chair. Boy, that felt nice to be grounded instead of hanging. So play with it. You may come to practice with pillows on each side of you so you can ground your stretches. Whenever you're ready, fold your hand in slowly and with care. Fold your top leg in slowly with care, and pelvic tilt, come back to the neutral. Those 3 steps, arm, leg, pelvic tilt before we move, are all for protecting the back. Take your arms out. I got a little windshield wiper first. Now decide, are you going to do this with your feet right on the ground and just tip? Are you going to do this with your knees hugged up and tip? Are you going to put one leg down and one leg up? Oh, I'm just going to go through some other choices. You might have your leg down here, but instead of being bent, you might let it hang out long. What's happening with this arm? Palm up, shoulder height gives a very special shoulder stretch. Are you flexible enough to grasp your toe, your body, your way? Stretch. Breathe. Feel it. Feel the neck. Up under your armpit, your chest wall, side of your ribs, side of your thigh, your bum. Everybody stretch today. Ah. On the exhale, really melt into your stretch. Ah. Remember, it's first tuck in the arm, then tuck in the leg. Now pelvic tilt before you come up. And we have one last thing. Yeah, I got to wiggle around and arrange my soggy t-shirt, stretch my arms down. Here it comes. What's the right Javasana for you? I'm going to slide down one leg at a time. Do you want a pillow under your knees? Prop yourself up as much as you need to, but the least that is necessary. So I used to use a big bolster, then a little bolster, then a little pillow. Then I would use my last one was I used one of these little knee cushions. And then finally I went to nothing. Intend toward the least cushioning your body needs, but always give yourself what you need. Isn't that about the definition of life? Breathing. Ah. You don't have to make noise, but especially if you're at home on YouTube, try it. Here in the studio, you don't have to groan like Tarzan, but just exhale any way you want. The exhale, oh, with a little noise is a different kind of thing. Now I have tension in my legs. I'm going to relax them and my feet flop out. I want to relax tension in my core, so I move a little in my core so I can perceive that I'm relaxing. How about my hands? I'm going to relax my face. I'm even relaxing my tongue. Breathe with Shavasana. Be. While you are here, again, I'm going to tell you the story of the sarcomeres. All of your muscles have like little alligator teeth that hook up into each other. And when your muscle is less contracted, the sarcomeres let go. When your muscles are more contracted, the alligators mesh up and get closer. What happens with the sarcomeres when you actually get more flexible? Well, first the sarcomeres loosen up and let go, and then the sarcomeres grow longer so that even though the sarcomeres are still engaged, your muscles have become longer for more available stretching. And relax and breathe. Any way you want, we're going to turn onto your side. And I'll tell you why we want those sarcomeres relaxed. And what helps those sarcomeres relax. Do you remember we did all this body weight training? Every time we train and use those muscles with weights, we don't need a gym, we are a walking gym. Those sarcomeres become engaged. And the more engaged those sarcomeres are when you work, the more responsive the sarcomeres are when you stretch. So thank you to our sarcomeres. Breathing. So I'm going to say something kind of corny as we bring ourselves to sitting. Any way you want to come to sitting. Well, maybe it's not corny. I don't know what it is. It could be morbid. But here's the truth. And this is more true for each of us as the decades pass. None of us gets out of here alive. Something happens to all of us. Even when you're young, you break a leg, you have depression, things happen. I cleaned that up. I usually say something else happens. Stuff happens. How do you want to sit for your final pose? This is a staff with my legs out front. It is my least favorite, but some days I can tell that it's good for me. Another option is a butterfly. A butterfly up tall. Joanne, you're up tall. Or a butterfly rounded if you have back tension or want to stretch your back. What about the easy pose? So, and then remember there's the V sit. I'm going to hang in the easy pose for a while and let my knee practice bending. So stuff happens in life. None of us get out of here alive. Isn't it wonderful to learn the skills of coping with stuff as it happens? And one of my major skills that I live by, that I teach my psychotherapy clients, that we practice here in yoga, is to appreciate what you can do and to intend doing it a little better. Whatever it is, appreciate and intend. And something else we do all the time that I'm going to call attention to. When stuff happens, you never know how much you will or won't recover from it. So keep doing the best you can, appreciating what you can do, intending further, and just see what the universe has in store for you. It's a ride. Life is a ride. What's your final pose for our body appreciation? With a breath, say thank you to your body. Hand over heart center. Thank whoever, whatever it is you believe in. But then I take a moment and I notice which hand is on top, and I let the other hand come on top and tend. This patting is one hand tending the other. These days, this is very important. Now I'm going to reach up and a salute. What's your salute? I don't know. Make it yours. And after the salute, pat yourself on the back or the chest or the head or whatever you can reach and say thank you to you for coming to practice today. What would you like to do now? Do you want to just melt one more time? I'm going to work my way up so that I can turn off the recording. So you know that takes me a few moments. So you take a few moments and give yourself what you need at the end of practice before you scurry off on your day. Or if this is YouTube, you could be doing this at night and you could be scurrying off on the rest of your evening. I have to get my chair and I'll be right back. This little shower chair is fabulous for me. When I'm too tired to stand in the shower, I do enjoy having it. There we go. When I need just a stool so that I can talk to you, it's the right height. It's great for putting your feet up on an ottoman. Think about what you need to make your life more comfortable and get it for yourself. Take care. I'll see you next week. By the way, if you want to join us in Lansdowne or join us on Zoom, my phone number's below. Text me for an invitation. All righty. There we are. Bye, guys.